Hey, what's up, guys? This is Martin here from Kodiak. Your favorite Chad from Poland is back. Welcome back, my homeboys and sisters. So, today, I just figured I'd make a different video today. Let's talk about something unique. Let's talk about semen retention. Is it actually real, or is it a whole bunch of nonsense? Because I got a whole bunch of requests for this exact video. So, here we go, guys. Let's roll. Let's crank it. So, the thing is, I kind of covered this topic in the past. We talked about nofap some months ago, and this is going to be different. Semen retention is a little bit of a different thing. And before I give you guys my answer, I'm going to tell you about this little experiment I did several years ago, back in 2020, during this whole big pandemic, during lockdown. And I was bored. I had a little girl that I was into, and I couldn't hang out because everything was closed, and at the time a whole bunch of nofap videos were popping off my feed, and I was like, hey, let's try it out. Let's just do it. What you gotta lose? Because I was reading all these crazy stories about how people were changing their lives because of nofap. It was really big back then. I mean, it's still a pretty big movement, but I don't think it's as talked about as it was back then. So, nofap. So I did this little study, this little experiment myself for 30 days. And guys, frankly, it did not change my life. I was expecting a lot more out of it. I think I lasted for about 30 days without ejaculating and all these things. And I was feeling like complete shit. Straight up, guys. I was getting blue balls. I was horny all the time. I could not focus. My mind was going in all kinds of directions because I was not being focused. I was not being in the present moment. I was being distracted by all my, sexual thoughts and my lazy brain at the time. And I was also attracted to that one girl, which, I always wanted to clap her, but I never got the chance. But the point is, nofap and semen retention is not going to change your life. Although, it can definitely ignite the fire inside of you. Particularly if you're addicted to porn, to jerking off all day, to sex and all these things. Yeah, that's a valid point. It's just like with books, in my opinion. Books are only really good if you're using them to your advantage. You're applying the knowledge. Because just reading books alone and watching a whole bunch of videos all day is not going to change your life. It only matters if you apply that knowledge. And you do it by using your power, by applying that knowledge. That's when it matters the most. But just reading books and consuming content all day is not going to make you successful. It's just like with nofap, in my opinion, or semen retention. It will only help you if you're actually at the bottom. Like, let's just pretend you're at the bottom for a second. You're struggling, you're getting no girls, and you're lonely, you're fat, you're depressed, and you want to change your life, and you're addicted to sex, all these different and with alcohol and all these things, then yeah, for sure, give it a try. I can definitely see the benefit with semen retention if you're at the bottom and you're addicted to all these things. But if you're already a successful dude and you're already making a whole bunch of progress, you got your life in order, you're getting girls consistently, you're working out, you're attractive, you're taking care of your ass, you're making some money, I don't think it's really gonna be that game changer for you. I'm sorry to say this. Because this is like the problem with most people today. Most people today have this pill mentality. They think they can just take one action and everything is going to fix itself. Just like with nofap or reading books. They're looking for the shortcut every single day. They're avoiding the process. And this is a very similar thing. Can you see the resemblance here, guys? Now, like I told you, I don't want to repeat myself here, but using nofap as a facilitator, a positive one, to create some momentum in your life, start learning more, to get your life in order. Definitely, I think it can definitely have its positive use when you're using it in a correct manner, when you're utilizing it properly. But generally speaking, that's not the thing that I would recommend to most guys, because sex and ejaculating is something that's already inside of us. Especially if you're a young guy who's watching this, you're gonna be horny. You want to smash women. You want to clap cheeks. You want to bang these girls. Okay, it's normal. It's a normal human emotion, or maybe not an emotion, but it's a natural urge that every single man has, a healthy man has. And sorry guys, I'm getting distracted. There's a whole bunch of things that are driving around here at this exact moment when I'm recording the video. Fuck's sake, man. It's always happening. But nofap, like going back to sex and banging women, it's a natural thing for us. That's how God, the universe, created us. We were meant, to spread our seed on women, to ejaculate on a woman's face or inside her body. That's how God made us. That's the purpose of men. And to think that, it's not healthy to ejaculate and that it's wrong to have sex with women, I think it's a whole bunch of BS. Because a lot of guys, I feel like when it comes to, nofap and semen retention, and to all these guys who are preaching this, they usually go crazy with it. They go over the top with it. They go, they cross that line where they almost treat it like a little religion, where, you ejaculate one time, oh man, that's a sin. Well, God is not going to forgive you. You lost your streak, man. You haven't ejaculated for 200 days, oh man, you're a loser. And it can destroy you mentally. Now, if you're an addict, you want to try to get your life back in order, definitely give it a try. I think there's a lot of benefits that come to that not fapping. But to me, I haven't seen a big difference to it. Actually, I will tell you from my experience, it has, at the time, I was only getting distracted. I was getting blue balls, I was horny all day, and I could not focus on my work. I could not focus on my studies back in the day, back in 2020. And it was a major distraction for me. I could not sit my ass down and focus. And it was a flaw to it. And that's just how it was for me. That was my experience with semen retention. And let me ask you this question. Do you really think that all the high achievers of society, all the really successful men, do you think that they practice nofap or semen retention? Like semen retention specifically, because nofap is different. Because nofap relates to like not jerking off and watching porn and all these things, yeah. But semen retention is a different thing. But do you really think that all these high-level successful men practice nofap or semen retention? No, they don't. Do you really think that Alexander the Great practiced semen retention, or Abraham Lincoln, or I don't know, George Washington, or fucking Donald Trump? Bro, do y'all really think that all these men preach semen retention? They don't practice it. They don't preach it at all. I know there's a famous story with Mike Tyson. He, talked about this, but I'm not sure if it's real. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I know. It's difficult for me to judge the validity of his claims, but to me, it's not going to fix your life unless you use it to actually create your momentum in life. But otherwise, if you're already a man who's working on himself, you're already disciplined, you're consistent, you're working hard, you have that grit, determination, everything, I don't think it's going to be a big game changer for you. No. However, just remember, it's a natural urge. And it's tempting, especially when you're addicted to these things, but don't quit. If you want to keep your streak, do it. Like, I'm not going to tell you that it's wrong, because if semen retention and nofap was a cult and it was a whole bunch of BS, people wouldn't practice it. Obviously, It has changed a whole bunch of lives around the world. I'm not denying this, guys. But to me, it never really helped me. Maybe it was because I was already focused on my vision. I was already grinding every single day. And I know there's a whole bunch of men who are at the bottom. They have no motivation. They're stuck and all these things. Definitely. But the bottom line is, you can't just rely on nofap or semen retention to change your life. What changes your life is real-time action and being consistent with it. Because I feel like a lot of guys who get like sucked into the society of nofap and semen retention, they're, it's almost like they change their addiction from being addicted to sex to not talking about sex, which is weird to me. I think a lot of these guys are a whole bunch of weirdos who just talk about this all day. And I've never seen a guy who's like I've never seen a guy who's treating semen retention as a religion who's actually successful with women. I've never seen it. All these guys who talk about it all day, they look like a whole bunch of dorks, in my opinion. Straight up. Yes, I'm sure some of you might be offended when I said this, but that's just how I think about it. You wanted my opinion? Here it is. So, but conversely, guys, if you can see the value of it, if you're addicted and you want to have a little dopamine detox, go for it. Definitely. Just like with video games, porn, overeating and all these things, alcohol, being addicted to alcohol, smoking, having a little joint with the guys, yeah, give it a break. It's good for your brain. But if you think that you can just by stopping, just by not ejaculating, that's going to make all this tremendous difference in your life. No. It's not going to, guys, effectively, this is not going to change your life. Unless you actually do something about it. You combine it with something else. Just like with reading books, guys. You can watch videos all day. You can read all these books. But if you're not applying that knowledge will never turn into wisdom. And that's what you want in life. You want to be wise. You want to be experienced in life. Which is what I'm telling you guys. Even though I'm a young guy, I've lived through a lot of the different things. And I can tell you about it. So, that's it, guys. What do y'all think? Have you all seen any benefits to nofap or semen retention? I would love to hear your thoughts. So, guys, the weather today is beautiful. It's amazing. So, to wrap it up, guys, the only real benefit to me when it comes to semen retention is that you can practice some self-discipline. And guys, let's be real here. Most men who start nofap or semen retention, they're only doing it to get girls. Straight up. That's why a lot of men are doing this. But there's, a lot of guys are telling me that, I'm more confident now. And you might say, I'm more confident. I'm having my confidence through the roof and all these things. I'm being a strong man. But let me ask you this. Do you really think that it's just because of semen retention? Or is it actually because of your confidence now? You're carrying yourself in a very different way. And women can feel that energy. I don't think it's just because you're not, ejaculating. You're not releasing your semen. I think that's a whole bunch of BS. All these guys who claim that, semen retention is giving them all these superpowers, like they're levitating, they're able to, to teleport themselves and all these things. Bruh, that's a whole bunch of BS in my opinion. But yeah, most guys start nofap to get more girls. And you think that just by not ejaculating, you're gonna get more girls. That's BS. What's gonna get you more girls is working on yourself and talking to more women in real life. That's the solution to it. Beating your meat doesn't make a difference here. Unless you're an addict, just like with alcohol or smoking. Although I don't preach these things, I'm very much against drinking alcohol and smoking. I think a lot of men are becoming lazy because of it. And thank God I'm clean. I've been clean for 25 years. I haven't touched a drink in my life. Same thing with cigarettes, drugs, and everything. So, And I don't think I'm missing out on anything, because I see that the society today is so degenerate. There's so many men today who are really destroying their lives. They're ruining their lives because of these substances, and thank God that's not me. So I swear to God, guys, thank God this is not happening to me. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day. And that's about it. Stay strong.